friends, it's Aubrey from Crybaby Cinema Homestead, and in today's video we're going to be transplanting 3 Christmas trees. So every Christmas I generally buy an ornamental live Christmas tree or a few, and then I end up planting them out into a larger pot the next year. I just can't stand to see a living thing die. So I went ahead and in this video I transplanted some different Christmas trees, and I really highly encourage you that instead of buying a cut tree, or in addition to buying a cut tree, go ahead and buy one of the little seedlings that you see for sale as an ornamental, and then go ahead and transplant that into a larger pot the following spring. Now it's not spring, but time got away from me, so this has been a project that's been procrastinated for quite a while. Now I will say there's different types of ornamental live Christmas trees, so you have to look at them carefully. The very popular type that has kind of a soft, squishy kind of leaf, that's, oh gosh, I'm forgetting what it's called. I'm going to stop the video and try to look it up. I'll put it into a comment or something, okay? So, but anyway, they're actually tropical plants, and you can find them in nurseries and so forth, sold as house plants. So those you don't want to transplant outdoors, but I'm transplanting spruce. Baby blue spruce in particular is the one that I love. It's so pretty. I love the tint of the foliage. It's really gorgeous. So at some point I'm going to decide where I'm going to plant it. It may or may not be on my property. These 3 ornamental Christmas trees I purchased back in December of 2022 and have them for decorations. Now these are the type that you would just keep outside. Some of the ones that you buy at Christmas time are actually tropical plants. You keep them inside. A lot of people put them outside and immediately they die because they're not actually meant for a temperate climate. But this right here is a baby blue spruce. And then I believe these 2 are the same species as each other. Dwarf Alberta spruce, and this one, dwarf Alberta spruce. This one definitely looks better than this one, but we're going to make them both very happy and start transplanting them. So this is their Christmas in August, and I've already started to put the soil into pots. So we're going to see if I'm making, yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and pot this one up first. So I'll go ahead and get the soil in there. Those yellow jackets are super persistent. They keep coming after me. They don't like me. And then we'll pull this out. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. Make sure that you have the variety that's for a temperate climate if you're living in a temperate area. But after you've used it for the holidays, go ahead and plant it either in the ground or in a larger container the following spring. And in this video you're going to see that I'm doing just that. So Merry Christmas in August. Happy holidays in summertime. I just love having that connection between the seasons of getting something one time of year and then doing something with it another time of the year. So kind of tying it all together. So I'm particularly excited about planting the baby blue spruce, which is so beautiful. And I'd much rather have it alive on my property or in a container to plant out on a larger place so at some point in the future. than to have a cut tree. I also, for some reason, cut trees always set off my allergies, but the living trees don't. I don't know what's going on with that. But a cut tree inside the home makes my allergies go crazy. So I like to do a living tree, and I do a fake tree, but a living tree, because you have to have life, right? Because Christmas is about Jesus and the life that he gave for us, and the life that he brought into the world, and the life that God gave us. So I like to have a living tree to celebrate, and that baby blue spruce is so pretty. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go ahead and transplant three, because apparently one was not enough for me, 3 different little baby Christmas trees, and I encourage you, go ahead and do the same thing. Just transplanted this baby blue spruce. I'll water it in a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and transplant the other 2 spruces and get that work done. Dirty work. Let's get done. Now this is the first dwarf Alberta spruce. That's good. Whoa. Stay there. Okay. Okay. Good. Go ahead and take that out of the pot. Save the pot for another project. Kind of try to loosen up the roots. Set it on in there. And we're going to add a little bit more soil. Make sure I don't bury the branches or the stem. That's good. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Try not to breathe in the dust particles. It's not good. Now this tree doesn't look as good, but I'm hoping that by transplanting it, it'll get a new lease on life. Go ahead and loosen her up. And put it back in there. And let's fill it up. Make sure we're not burying those branches. Okay. Back it down off the stem and trunk. Okay, looks good. Then we need to water it. And we got our little cute pig watering can. This tree is going to be so happy. I'll have to do some updates to see how these do over time, especially the sad one. A lot of people, very sadly, throw away these little Christmas trees instead of planting them. Make sure you plant your little Christmas trees. They deserve to live. And this baby blue spruce is going to get a good water. Oh, I'm so excited for these little trees. I meant to do this as Christmas in July. It's August, so it's Christmas in summertime. Let the water percolate. The planters are going to be considerably heavier once you've watered them. And I could have gone a little bit bigger on the planters, but I think this is just perfect for now. And then maybe in 2 years, I can plant them in the ground somewhere. Super happy trees. Aren't they lovely? They're going to be so happy with all the new soil and nutrients that these larger containers can give them. Merry Christmas in August. I generally grow when I plant trees, I generally grow things that have some kind of medicinal, ornamental, something, not really ornamental, but more medicinal, or some kind of food product that it has. Like I grow a lot of nut trees and fruit trees. Like hazelnuts, I actually have a few almond trees. I've got some black walnut that are in pots because they have a hormone that they put off into the ground that inhibits the growth of some other plants. So I'm going to be very educated when I go to plant it into the ground, what kind of plant near it. Like I think I can plant blueberries near it and pawpaws. But in future episodes, I'm going to be transplanting a Korean pine tree. And the reason why I'm growing Korean pine is because of the edible pine nuts. So I did research on different pine trees, and I wanted to get those that have a sizable pine nut in the cones so that it's worth the time. And of course, I know the squirrels are probably going to get to a lot of them, but the tree is quite small, and it's been in a very small container for several years. So I'm hoping that by uppotting it, it can get some growth on, and then that buys me more time on deciding where exactly I want to place it. I do have a snag or a dead tree with a bad top to it. I have a snag on my property that needs to be taken down, and that tree is going to take probably $1,000, maybe $1,500 to actually cut the tree down. My husband bought a chipper, so I'll have some wood chips. And I'm thinking that maybe somewhere near that spot, I might plant something, kind of to replace the habitat that was being taken away, because there are quite a few birds that like to go to that tree. So I want to be very careful as we take the tree down. At some point, I think I might do a couple branches at a time, kind of scare the birds away. I don't want them to get hurt, and to discourage them being there when a company comes to actually take it down, because it's going to require professionals. It's a giant tree, and it's right on the property line between me and my neighbor. So when I replant that area, it's going to have to be a little bit more on my property so that we don't have that issue again. That tree has probably been here since before the houses were built. So one of the things I really love about growing trees is that they are obviously perennial, duh. They're going to come back they stay all year long. Now these trees I'm talking about are evergreen, which is why Washington State is called the Evergreen State. We have a lot of coniferous trees that do not lose their leaves in the fall like deciduous trees do. So it's really beautiful. It stays really beautiful green all year long. It's lovely to look at, and I do want to replace, it doesn't have to be the same species of tree, but since it is a coniferous tree, I think it would be good to replace it with maybe the blue spruce or the Korean pine. I haven't made up my mind. If you have a suggestion, go ahead and pop that down in the comments and let me know. If I'm replacing a tree on my property, that's going to be in the front of my property, to the left of my house. If you're facing my house, to the left side, I'm going to be replacing a very big snag that it's a really crazy tree because it like goes up and it has like a triple crown, so it really is dangerous in case of a windstorm, especially with parts of it not being, I mean, it's parts of it are alive, but parts of it are definitely dry and brittle. So it's risky if there's a storm, part or maybe all of the tree could come down. So that's going to go away. I might leave a stump because I like stumps. So if you have a nice high stump, that's another thing I like to do is leave a high stump. That also provides habitat. If it's really high, we left a couple on our property, 2 really high stumps, and we have woodpeckers living in them now. So I'm so excited that they actually have a nest in there. It's adorable watching them. So if you can leave a high stump, like really high, like, you know, when they come in, they're like really low to the ground. You want to leave a nice high stump that they're taller than me. Like, they're probably 8-10 feet tall stumps. Yeah, 8 feet. And it's provided habitat. If you have the stump lower, let's say 3.5-4 feet, you can put a container there. Not 4 feet, I mean, unless you're like 7 feet tall, right? But maybe like 3 feet tall, 3 feet high stump, you can put your container there and you can have a really high raised bed. So that's another thought. All right, everybody, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell for notifications, like all that jazz, and I will see you on the next episode. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.